Scott Sherman in for McGraw. Sarah Daly is along. ABC Entertainment editor, our pal, McGraw Morning Show regular, David Blaustein is with us. Good morning, David Blaustein.
Scott, I got to tell you, you have your McGraw down pretty well. You sound almost just like him.
I was going to stutter. Other than that, it's exactly the same.
My goodness.
Now, do I make fun of the Mets now, or do I wait until the end?
We won last night, so I'm feeling good about our terrible team that has a great pitching staff and no offense to speak of.
Congratulations. And then when do I talk about your...
I heard the staggering stat the other day, and this was while Harvey was pitching and then proceeded to pitch the worst game of his life, that the Mets this year, at that point, now they're 24-4, but they were 24-3 when they score 4 runs. But they were like 4-25 when they don't score 4 runs.
So you need a little offensive help there if you're gonna take a W.
Just a little bit. We'll see what happens.
As long as we're rubbing it in, David.
You're a great baseball town.
How many times Sarah did her dad is Ken Daly, who played for the Cardinals in the 80s. How many times did your dad beat and or mop up against the Mets during his career? That was a big rivalry.
It was.
Yeah, I hated the I hated the Cardinals when I was a kid. I mean, I don't consider the Cardinals a rival anymore, but you were probably, I think, outside of the Phillies, I hated the Cardinals like maybe more than any other team.
Well, especially during that era.
Including your father.
Right.
Well, especially that era. I mean, that was like the thick of that rivalry. It's kind of faded off now, like you said, because we just have left you guys in the dust. But
yes, thanks. We did win the World Series in '86, but then you did kill us in what was the Terry Pendleton home run? I can't.
Yes.
It's so hazy.
And I'm a Tigers fan, so they did us in. I hear about it all the time. All right, David.
Tigers. Well, then I can talk White Sox with you because the other side of my family is White Sox people.
And how much time do they have left in prison before they?
That's not nice.
All right, it's not. All right, Jurassic World. Yeah. I saw this movie 15 years ago, didn't I?
Yeah, well, Jurassic Park, which the original movie, which, by the way, is based on really a terrific, fantastic book, went on to be a great movie, and they could have left it there. The second movie was solid. The third movie was dumb. It's a brand. Hollywood is a business, and what they did is they took a brand and they took their most bankable star at the moment outside of Channing Tatum, and they're making movie magic. Now that doesn't, well, really I should say box office magic. They are definitely not making movie magic. Make no mistake, this is a dumb movie.
See, he sounds like me.
This is like we're 3-0 on this, Justice Blaustein.
Well, because here, what woman in her right mind sends her 15-year-old and 12-year-old son to Central America to hang out with dinosaurs? Okay, and here's another genius idea. Yeah. So Jurassic World, which is this highly successful resort, the billionaire who owns it, played by Irfan Khan, and this is the thing. I mean, there are so many great actors in this movie. Irfan Khan, he was the cop in Slumdog Millionaire. He thinks that they have to have a new attraction or an asset, as Claire, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, calls it, because they think that the dinosaur-loving public has grown tired or bored with just coming to an island to hang out with dinosaurs. So they have to genetically splice together something that wants to kill people. which is what they do. You know what this movie is? This movie is a bigger budget, better acted version of Sharknado.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Ian Ziering, he's in this, right? Isn't that he's the lead guy? No, it's the guy from the
Parks and Recreation.
The
no,
toys.
Chris Pratt is great.
Yeah, that's his name.
Look, that's the good thing about this movie is Chris Pratt. The acting. I mean, you have Chris Pratt and you have Bryce Dallas Howard, and I think that they're both a lot of fun to watch. They would have been more fun to watch if they were given better material. I like how Chris Pratt in this movie looks like he borrowed his wardrobe from a 1983 Bruce Springsteen music video.
You know what I am pretty pumped about, though?
What?
Last night, 3 hours early on Netflix, Orange is the New Black Season 3 was released, and I was waiting for that. So that's just made my month. I have a reason now to to just sit down and watch episode after episode after episode?
Well, it was great for me because last night I covered this event in New York City, and they called it Orange Con. You know, like a very, 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 very mini version of Comic-Con for Orange is the Black, the New Black fans. And so you had the entire cast was there, and there was the red carpet, and you had a lot of fans. And it was great because I spoke to pretty much everybody in the cast, which I did a junket with Orange is the New Black, I think back in February or March, and I spoke to 16 of the actresses, and last night I spoke to pretty much just as many. I got, like, all the main players. I was at a point where I was about to get Natasha Lyonne. I was like, you know what, that's enough.
You know what, I was just going to ask you about Natasha Lyonne.
I've spoken to her before, I love her. And, you know, it was really, I had a deadline looming. And I was just like, I don't need her because I got so much, and I've spoken to her before, and the temptation to, when you have Natasha Lyonne there, especially if you know Natasha Lyonne, the temptation is agonizing because she's a soundbite machine. She is one of the most articulate and intelligent, thoughtful actresses you will ever speak to. So it was difficult to walk away from that. But
and she ain't too bad looking. I know you're a married man, but she
she
ain't difficult on the I know you're a professional, but still.
Look, I'm a nice Jewish boy from Brooklyn, and she's a nice Jewish girl from Manhattan. So, you know, there's a natural thing going there.
Well, have Leah DeLaria, and the Dr. Browns.
Leah DeLaria, who plays Big Boo, is from Belleville, Illinois.
That's fantastic.
So we have a little connection there.
Look at that.
See, that's another reason why.
Was her father a major league pitcher?
No.
That would have been crazy.
No, yeah, that would have been crazy. I would have definitely placed a call.
For you two.
I would have placed a call then.
On that show, that could happen.
So you can binge watch this Orange is the New Black now.
But what I wanted to say is this is the brilliance of Netflix, because they're doing this thing last night, and it's getting a lot of buzz because they invited all the social media influencers, which they really didn't need, because Orange is the New Black has an amazing social media presence. But, you know, it was supposed to come out at 3 o'clock this morning, and then Netflix decides while this thing is going on that they're going to drop it at 9 o'clock last night. So people were able to start streaming it at 9 o'clock, and word spread like wildfire last night.
Oh, I'm 2 episodes in. No, don't worry. Don't worry.
From Sarah Dale. All right, David, one last thing. Maybe you can take this with you. The song, the Jurassic World has a new song. You know what it is? Everything is awful. There you go. You can use that if you so choose.
That should be the theme of that joke.
That's right. Okay. David Blaustein. We should have ended it 30 seconds ago. Thank you very much. It's improv, you know. It's the effort, not the actual. All right. All our best to our folks, good friends in New York, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
There you go. David Blaustein, everybody. You, Sarah Daly, very happy. And then he hates your dad. It comes right on.
I know. It's just a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling all over, right?
He said he's a nice Jewish boy from Brooklyn. Then he shivs you. It's like, it's more like Meyer Lansky.
And he says he doesn't
Blaustein.
remember the Pendleton home run. Well, I wouldn't remember a lot of negative things either. I mean, if you're a Mets fan, you clearly have some blackout points where you're just like, I'll forget that year and I'll forget that year. So, you know, you don't blame him.
It's coming up on 30 years for those guys. All right. I'm Scott. That's Sarah. This is the Big 550 KTRS.